Welcome back to the Intentional Queen podcast, guys, with your host, Janine, Journey to Restoration, where women come to be empowered, be their authentic selves. We talk about self-love and healing and just taking off those masks, girl, and just flying free like a butterfly. That's why that logo is a butterfly. I want you guys to come through those stages and just be your best self, but I also want you guys to embrace where you are in the journey. For the last couple of weeks, we had some good stuff talking about trusting the process, May being Mental Health Awareness Month. We also talked about she believed she could, and so she did with my guest, Whitney Morgan. She came through. She poured her heart out, and she definitely was very transparent in showing you guys that being vulnerable takes courage. So I want you guys to know that you can do it too. She believed she could, and so she did was a quote I had found, and I just really embodied that motto because I'm like, that is what Intentional Queen Journey is. You believe what you can do, and then you plan out what you're going to do, and then you just do the work and come through. And then next thing you know, you in your flourishing seasons. She's a boss mom. She's a mompreneur. She's a single mom. She's the founder of When Women Speak. And I want you guys to go back and listen to the first episode because it definitely was awesome. And this is going to be the second episode where we talk about so much here. We talked about relationship and healthy goals, business tips, being a single mom, and how you can get out there and grind, how you can come through your journey and just embrace it and doing your work. Because we really did get a little personal about how that journey is for both of us. I want you to stay to the end. This is part 2. Check out part 1. We talked about mindset shifting. Share with your friends, share with your family, tag a queen that needs to hear it. And why don't you just listen to it? That's all I got to say. Mic drop, guys.
But you are worth and worthy of so much more. And to me, I see women and they congratulate men for being consistent. They congratulate men for following through with plans. And they congratulate men for all these things. And I'm just like, well, that's like the bare minimum. Like the men should already be doing, they should be doing that. They should be doing that. And it's just acknowledging your worth in that. And so I am almost 30 and I am just now in my, I would say, first healthy relationship with a man.
2 snaps for you, girl. 2 snaps for you.
Yes.
Next over here, girl. Next. That's what we say in church.
Next over here. I'm putting all that. Yes, you will be next. I'm telling you. And this is after years of, I'm about to say foolishness. And this is after years of foolishness. And, as we approached our 1 year, because we're coming up to 1 year of us like dating. And, I just reflect of the difference between this and what I was doing before. And it all started with my mindset. I did not accept the bare minimum. I held him accountable. I was not afraid of losing him. I was very much fully myself. And then while I was myself, I was achieving my goals. I was doing the things that I want to do. And he was too. He was achieving his goals and doing the things too. And so together we were able to complement each other, not take away.
Ooh, that's good. And you listened to my brother's episode. I mean, we dug in deep.
Yes.
When you start talking about the bare minimum, I mean, he told me a while back about them eagles and how they mate and with them the test. And I talk about the twig and the branch and then the log. And he was like, Nee, you out there dropping logs. You can't stop when a person just come with a twig or a branch because it is more and your worth. So your worth is always complete, whether you're with a person or you're without a person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so I think as women, sometimes we get stuck on the stigma of if you don't have someone, that there's something wrong with you. Well, technically, you need to make sure you're on the right flight test with the right eagle. school, and therefore you're going to drop that log and he's going to catch it. And he has
Absolutely.
his own plans, right? You said your
Yes.
man is doing his own thing, right? Do the goals complement or contradict, right? And so what he's doing is complementing what you're doing. So therefore y'all are working towards something together. That's what you want, something
Absolutely.
together. You grow together because it's going to be rocky, right? Everybody knows the seasons of
Absolutely.
relationships change, right? It's
Yes, they
how you
do.
go through it, right?
Mm.
Knowing that they're committed to the work, because it's going to
Yes.
always be work.
It's yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you preaching, girl. Like, come on now.
Two snaps. Listen, I'm only
Two
speaking what I
snaps.
had to get in me. Like people was watering me when I was in them dark places. You know, they were sending me clips of things, and I just really, God dealt with me. Like I said, like you said, that grace, those moments, those forgiveness, the forgiveness for some of the things you didn't do, like meaning like things you've accepted. It wasn't really like an action that you did,
Yes.
but the things you accepted, right?
Yes.
And then having children makes it even harder because you're like, well, did I do something wrong that's going to affect them? You know, like, you know, you want to be the best parent, but the best parent is the healthiest you, you know?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
emotionally and wholeness. That's why we call trying to make us whole. You want a man that's whole, and you're coming in
Yes.
as whole. You don't want a broken person, right? And we
Ugh,
both used to be broken people. You already spoke on
yes.
yours and I spoke on mine. So when we started seeking people, right, we see the brokenness in them and we want to fix it, or
Mm,
we tend to gravitate to that, right?
mm.
But now when you change your mindset and now you become whole, you gravitate to a man or a spouse that is whole.
And that's what she will attract. And that's what exactly the man that will come to you, because he will, you know how people say real recognize real.
Come on now.
He will recognize, you're coming in wholeness and he's coming in wholeness. Okay.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
that's exactly what happened. Does that mean that we don't go through ups and downs? Absolutely. We go
Right.
through ups and downs. We
Mm-hmm.
have transitions in our relationship. But the key thing is that we're both coming in whole and that we pray together.
Come
That's,
on, girl.
pray together. Help us, Lord. Me and him are struggling with this right here. Can you help us in this relationship? Can you come in? If this be your will for us to be together, can you help us in that? And I feel like that is so key. And the reason why myself and my boyfriend, I'll say his name, Ty, we're stronger
Yes.
now than I've ever been in before. But it's all about coming in whole, girl, and
Mm-hmm.
doing that self-reflection that we talked about, that self-care. You got
Mm-hmm.
to do all that. You can't
Mm-hmm.
fast forward through that.
Because that's
People,
what we do. We try to speed through that thing, but
we
you got to
try
sit in that. You got to sit in that. Yeah.
you got to sit in that. We see a lot of self-care memes and everybody looks so peaceful and happy. Girl, my self-care, I had, tear stains on my eyes. I
Listen,
was
girl.
laid out. Like,
You
a
speaking
lot.
to me. Listen, today I'm cute. I put some lipstick on, but you see how I came in that other day. I had my hoodie on and a hat. Like sometimes it doesn't have to look that way. And people like your authentic self. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yes.
real out here. You know, it's real. And sometimes in our generations, we weren't taught how to deal with things because they just doing what they learned, right? And so at some point we got to break generational things. And I think
Yes.
sometimes in relationships too, it's a stigma to get help within the relationship. For instance, do y'all need to go to counseling, right? Or
Yes.
do you need to surround yourself around other happily married Christian couples, right? Or
Mm.
who's the company that you keep in, or who's the company that they keep in? Because outsiders will influence your relationship if you do not set boundaries within it. And the lady that I told you I listened to that Instagram live, she talked about you got to tell those boundaries up front, right?
Mm-hmm.
And give people an opportunity to decide, is this something they want to flow with? They know you mean business, they know this is what you're doing, and so
Absolutely.
then they can respect you up front, so then you don't fall in the trap. Because when you get into the emotional trap, it's hard to come out. Like you said, like you were like, I got to get back to my people over here, and in the end I got to get out of here. Like it's hard, and you have so
Yeah.
much planning to do, right? Like, and then you turn around, you're like, how the hell did I get here?
Yes,
Like,
absolutely. How did I get here? That's what I felt like when I moved back home with my parents, my behind, and my little daughter, who, I think, I don't know, she was maybe 3 at the time. And I'm just looking around like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Like, it's
But you
so
did your
real.
work though. You did your work. I mean, you're empowering other women. You're empowering these kids out here because you are making the future women. You know what I mean? They will
Yeah.
become a woman at some point. And so giving them virtue and giving them structure early, right? And you're also helping their parents because, you know, there's parents of those kids that you're mentoring. So, you know, I feel like it's
Yeah.
just do one, teach one, right? And we're learning, right? We've learned these things. It's not like we were just giving these things, that we learned them along the way. If we didn't have blunders or failures, we wouldn't be able to share experience. And I think sometimes we get so scared. I'm speaking myself right now. You get scared to fail
Mm.
because nobody likes that word failure. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I say it's better to just still fall forward. You're going to fall, but if you fall forward, move forward. You know what I mean? Don't keep looking back and don't be bitter about the situation. Don't be like Lot's wife out in the streets. That's what I always say, because she turned into a pillar of salt by keep looking back. It's like,
Absolutely.
learn what you need to learn. You know what I mean? Be remorseful about your past situation and everything you had to go through. I'm being remorseful about mine and I'm moving forward. I'm not going to regret it, because now I'm a whole woman, you know what I mean? But I
Absolutely.
wasn't her before. And if that situation didn't happen, I would have never probably got there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And look at you now.
I'm
Like, you are
trying, girl.
doing amazing things. And God never ceases to amaze me. Like, everything, like how we even connected, I'm just glad that I got to meet you
Yay,
virtually
me too.
and that we got to chat and connect. But, everything that we're talking about is so key for the women out there.
And
You
we
know,
definitely showing them single moms it could be done. You know what I
okay,
mean?
single moms,
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
through.
Listen, I got a couple of fans that's like, when you going to talk to the single mom? So I feel like this
Let me
episode was to show them.
about the single moms out there, I understand the struggle. And even if you are going through like with the father of your child, and y'all are not meeting ways, you can set those boundaries and you can co-parent in a way that it can be healthy. And this is coming from someone who me and my child's father, we were at arms, when we broke up. Like it was just not good, not happy. But we are now able to co-parent in a way that is healthy for my daughter. So it's possible. Does it take work? Yes.
Like
Does
we
it
said,
take
all relationships take work, but look at how far y'all come.
Yes, you can do it and they will be okay. I used to worry like, oh, my daughter's going to see like two parent homes in her class and then she's going to think that she's different. To her, she's happy because she sees her mom happy. She sees her dad happy. And she sees us coming together, working together for her.
Come
And
on now.
so you can do like that picture is not too far fetched. You got to do the work. Whatever y'all need to squash out, like if you're still holding on to bitterness or anger, you got to let that go so you can work, for your child so that y'all can co-parent together, because that's what they need to see. Like
Yes.
mom and dad, no, they're not together. Yeah, they may have moved on, but they came together and they showed up for me.
Yes.
And I think that's so important to, single moms, is because believe me, when we first broke up and we weren't together, me and my ex, I thought, oh, hell no, there's no way that we're going to be able to
to do this.
we're going to be to do this. I said, Lord, why'd you put me? This is like the worst situation possible. Right?
But look at y'all now. And even to the single moms who might not even have the dad around, it is still doable. I mean, I am in a co-parenting space, so I have his dad around, but I know people personally who don't have the other person at all. Like there's no contact. And so they're more stressed because they have to be mom and dad, but the kids can still turn out good. You get them into a mentoring program, like what you're talking about. That's why I'm so pro this, because you don't necessarily have to have the other parent around. You just want to put them around positive influences, right?
Absolutely.
And so structuring them, getting them in better environments so they don't drift. And so that's why I'm like so pro this. So I feel like our talk today was like awesome. So now we come into the close. Unless there's anything you want to share, we're going to jump into you giving us all your contact information, the details on how we can find out more about your mentoring program for the girls. And we're going to close this out, friend, because I thought you did a great job. And yay, the vulnerability, right?
Yay. Yes, yay the vulnerability. I think I would just say that you mentioned about the single moms who may not have the other parent involved. My hat goes off to them. Right.
Me too.
I cannot even imagine. Mm-hmm. But you guys keep pushing and doing the daggone thing. You can do it. I've seen it done
right now.
Right.
Y'all can
we
out here
snapping for y'all. Like, come on. It's not impossible. Y'all got this. It's just you can do it. And again, going back to shifting your mindset, I can do this. Is it going to be hard days? Yes. Is it going to be tough? Yeah. But you got this. So I just want to put that out there right there. Cause I mean, I've known single moms with, 4+, and they still out here doing the daggone thing. So I'm like,
I got friends in the same light, and I'm like, girl, get it. You my inspiration, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, Janine, thank you for having me. And to close off, it was so funny. I had to write down my Instagram name, y'all, because I'm not an Instagram person. So
I'm learning too, girl. Intentional Queen Journey is learning.
So I want to make sure that I didn't forget our actual name that I, registered us. But yeah, so right now we are recruiting for girls from 4th through 10th grade who need mentors. It's virtual. It's completely free. We're a nonprofit program. So everything, all the materials, yes, nonprofit, all the materials, everything will be given to her for free. All you have to do is sign her up. And I literally had two girls actually inbox me wanting to sign themselves up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is amazing. But we do need to have parents' consent. So, for the parents out there, guardians, aunties, uncles, aunts, whomever, sign her up if she needs a mentor. It lasts for about 2 months. And then all they need to have is access to the internet. And their sessions will be completely virtual, and they will be set up according to your schedule. This will start off again. We just finished our spring season. So congrats to all the girls that went through that season. So now we're getting ready for our fall season. So please sign up, and you can do so by going to www.wsmentor.org, and you download the Become a Mentee tab. When you hit that tab, you can download the application, and then you can email that shespeaks@wwsmentor.org. Or, you can go to our Instagram, which is When Women Speak Mentor. So if you have any questions, or if you want to talk to me or a member of my staff, you can just go to When Women Speak Mentor, and we will get you situated there. So, yeah.
So listen, I'm just going to repeat some of what she said now. Her website, right? Is it www.mentor.org?
Yes.
And so that's where you guys are going to go. That's 2 W's, a S, mentor.org. You can go over to When Women Speak Mentor on Instagram. Her name is now Miss Whitney Morgan. Listen, I messed up her name because she got 2 first names. I was like, is the last name this? So y'all make sure you check out Miss Whitney. She is doing the thing over there. And as you heard, it's virtual. So with me not even being close to her and me signing up on her team, you don't even have to be close by meaning in vicinity to mentor these women. And there's so many queens that's listening. I want y'all to understand as somebody you might be able to bless or pour some of your knowledge into. We trying to just train up a woman so she can continue to be virtuous like we are out here in the streets. Remember, if you're a single mom and you're listening, we are shouting you out.
Yes.
That this can be done. This can be done. And you already heard us. I'm going to give us a quick rewind of what we talked about. We talked about being a single mom, being a boss mom. We talked about healthy relationships. Okay. We talked about giving yourself grace out there in the streets. It's so hard when we don't want to give ourselves forgiveness, but you need to stop putting yourself on a cross that God already forgave you for. Go ahead and put them boundaries out there. And as I learned on that Instagram live with that lady, like make sure you have consequences that you stick to when you're even parenting as well, because you need to show people that you mean what you say. And be careful out there with triggers too, because I feel like people will gaslight you and try to get you off of your peaceful mindset, right? Because they like to get you back to the old place you used to be, because we have to own up to where we used to be. So therefore, sometimes our old self will try to rear its ugly head because people know that part of you. So just be mindful of when people are coming for triggers. And at the end of the day, like, it is time to embrace you, work on your journey to restoration. You already heard me and Whitney say it's a journey. We working on this every day. And we used to be bruised, and now we're showing how you can fly out here. It takes time, but give yourself the grace. So we're going to close out Intentional Queen podcast, y'all, saying slide over to my Instagram at Intentional Queen Journey. Snapshot listening to this. Share it with all the queens that you know need to hear this message. You can go to my website at www.intentionalqueenjourney.com. You can then click the picture that shows my podcast. It will then take you to my landing page, which shows how to contact me, what media sites you can find me on. I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you can find it if you type in an Intentional Queen podcast. And y'all, I'm just loving all the feedback. So if there's any topics or you want to hear more from Miss Whitney, or if you want to be a part of her team, slide in my email or slide in her email, and make sure you contact us, because we are definitely trying to create a positive space for women and children, because we out here being moms too. So love you guys. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Shout y'all out. Bye-bye.
Bye.